Hello everybody, December48 here, and welcome back to another Marvel Monday. Today we are diving into, finally, Into the Spider-Verse. I don't actually know what the full title of this is. Let me find that real quick. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Okay, that was the full title. This came out in 2018, so it took me a very long time to finally get to this movie, but it was outside of the timeline, so it was a thing that it was kind of easy to skip, or I guess not even skip. There wasn't a point in the timeline that it made it obvious to go watch it, but I finally made it there. And I have to say, from the get-go, the visuals in this are incredible. There is no critique I can make about the visuals. For an animated film, it is top-notch in animation quality. The voices, the cast for this movie, incredible. The range of people in this film, I think it's hilarious that there are multiple actors and actresses that have since come back to Marvel, but not for these roles. I think that's kind of amusing. And one weird thing I did see was that for the French version, they got Olivier Giroud and I believe Kimpembe. So they just got some soccer players to do a couple of the minor characters in the French version. That, to me, a bit strange, but cool, I guess. Story, awesome. I don't know what I was expecting from this story. It wasn't this. Obviously, I expected the learnings for Miles Morales. I thought it was going to be a pass the torch, more literally than figuratively. I really thought we were going to start with Peter Parker looking for and choosing the next Spider-Man, especially when he said he'd been doing it for like 10 years or so. So I thought it was him kind of picking the next line rather than it happening in an overlap as it did. I also didn't expect that many extra Spider-Men in this film. I thought it was Miles Morales, and I thought Gwen came in the second one for some reason. I didn't think she was in this first one. So there was more to it than I expected. I think the origin story of Miles Morales with his uncle being Prowler is so cool. So much deeper and darker than I thought this was going to go, which applaud for that. I thought the relationship with his dad was very interesting throughout the movie. His dad being a cop, not agreeing with the ethics of Spider-Man. Thought it was interesting that we don't really see much of anything with his mom. But I guess it's just film number 1. Maybe she plays a bigger role in films 2 and 3. Also, the fact that he doesn't really have a friend. Spider-Man, I feel like he always has this like side friend. And there was all the side characters were other Spider-Men in this film. He finally kind of talks to the roommate in the wrap-up scene, I guess. So, again, maybe that's a character that plays a bigger role in the next movie. My only downside, I will say, is the corniness of some of the edits. And I get it. As an animated film, the theme was cartoon. I'm not a big cartoon reader or enjoyer, and one of the things that I can find enjoyment out of the cartoon movies is that they are all live action and don't have the quirky, corny edits. And for a movie that for the most part was very serious and like it took itself very seriously for a lot of the time, the quirky edits in fights, which for the most part to me were awesome. The action scenes were so cool. and so epic, especially that last one where it was just so grand. And literally the world is falling apart around you. The comic book edits were not my vibe, and that was the only thing that really brought down the enjoyment of this movie for me, which unfortunately is the whole aesthetic theme. But otherwise, incredible movie with great action, and a character that can kind of provide the comic relief himself, because he is just a little bit awkward, but also cool enough to get away with being awkward at times. Overall, I would definitely say I enjoyed this movie. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as it was hyped. I feel like I was heavily hyped up for this movie, and I hate when I'm hyped up for a movie because it almost always underperforms the hype. But this puts me in a really good spot for the second film, because now I'm a little bit lower and I have my realistic points set out, and I have no clue what's going to happen in the second one, other than probably Miguel Morales, whoever that other guy was, is going to appear, and we're probably going to reunite with Gwen. Other than that, no clue. I did think Wilson Fisk was really cool. I didn't realize he was going to be in this at all. And he is huge. Unnecessarily huge. And also, him being able to pick up and throw a car. He's not powerful enough in Daredevil or Echo. He needs to be able to do more. He's not scary enough. And he's already scary in those films. Granted, he has crushed a human head with his hand in those shows. But based on what I saw here, he is not nearly scary enough. And he has almost too much critical thinking in the shows. Whereas here, he's just insane. But yeah, he's crazy. And huge. And just built wrong. His body proportions they don't work with humanity. But that's fine. Overall, really enjoyed this movie. If there's something I missed or something you think I probably didn't understand and is why I maybe didn't like parts of this, let me know in the comments down below. And let me know your thoughts on Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That's all I have for today's Marvel Monday. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.